What's going on, everyone? Greetings to you all, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and I tell you guys, I almost just shut this down today because this rib has gotten to be a real problem for me, and I just really wasn't feeling this. But we didn't do a video last week for gold. If I start getting into not doing this stuff after doing it every week for over 4 years now, I'm afraid it's real easy to get out of doing this kind of stuff. So we're going to try to make it entertaining and have some fun with it. It's just y'all know I do this because it's fun, and it's the wonders of gold. And if I'm not enthusiastic about it, you're not going to be enthusiastic about it. So we got some little painkiller, a little half a blue football. Going to try to have a little safety meeting. Very little, can't be coughing, but yeah, after over a week, it's I tell you, it's still got even more of a problem than it was. Of course, like I said, I did 5 days of work after doing it, which I should not have done, and just really made it worse, I guess. But anyway, we got some really cool stuff to get into today. We're going to try a new little challenge, and you can see we are celebrating this weekend is Flag Day and the birthday of our awesome President of the United States, Donald Trump, as well as we're celebrating the awesome men of the United States Army that built this country and has protected it for over 250 years this weekend. So very grateful and proud salute to them. Of course, speaking of proud, you notice it has been erased. There's no pride anywhere except in the extreme, and nobody's covering it, nobody's supporting it. Again, like I said before, it just shows that these companies were doing it because they were forced to, trying to play into what they were, this bullshit that is. There's this great uproar and outpouring of support for mentally degenerate, mentally disabled pedophiles and criminals, and it's still playing as you see. I hope everyone is safe with what's going on across the country. I did a post where I was showing I am going to be boycotting Walmart for the time being. Walmart's disavowed that piece of shit, the heiress Chrissy Walton, who had no part, built nothing, has never done anything other than be the slob that she is. A decaying old woman is with Trump derangement syndrome. But yeah, she put this ad in, and I've scanned it. We're going to have them in New Orleans. We're going to have them in Lafayette and in Baton Rouge here in the state. And there's another dot right outside of New Orleans that looks very close to where I am, but I have not been able to find any information that anything's going on in Houma, and I would assume they have enough sense not to bring that shit here because it will not stand. Outside of these shithole libtard strongholds, it has no support. But you can see from that map, there are I think they're saying over 1,000 attacks planned. So you got to remember as they go into this another summer of peace and love, of all these peaceful protests, with literally the guys standing behind them with the cars burning and nothing but flames and smoke in the background, saying about agitators and peaceful. These are the same people again in 2020 that allowed 250 days with over 570 riots to burn down the libtard cities around this country freely, and they're planning on that again, and I can tell you that it looks like we're not going to let that happen. So just the disgusting level that we've seen. The people, again, the people that are running this show there, and the same ones, Newscomb and that freaking Nature Bass, whatever it is, they allowed the Los Angeles to burn to the ground not a few months ago. And I'm sitting there watching these fires raging out of control on Friday night going, is no one sensitive to the fact that you still have people in front of their destroyed homes waiting for permits to rebuild from the last incompetent disaster you guys literally fueled? So I think there should be a for the weekend. This is all organized by Democrats. They've seen that. I showed on my video the face mask that comes from Walmart that was being handed out, and then they've linked the No Kings website is actually funded by two billionaire scumbags, a couple. They showed them, and the Justice Department is already looking into them. So again, this is sedition that you're seeing here. They keep talking about whatever, treason, whatever, but no, this is sedition and insurrection. And all they keep going back to is January 6th. And you got Pelosi just last night, saying how Donald Trump refused to send in the National Guard, and we've got her on tape. It was the responsibility of the mayor and the House, head of the House, to call in the National Guard. Trump had them ready the day before, waiting, and they refused it. Now she's, and the media, just not a single person says, hey, that, you're in charge. You already admitted, we've got you on camera. Your daughter was filming a documentary as it happened. Y'all had it staged. It was planned. It was going to be a big thing for you. So again, it's just the absurdity that this is going on. Again, this is happening because they're supporting. ICE came in and arrested murderers, child rapists, drug dealers, smugglers, the worst scumbag around the world. And you've got Mexican illegals waving flags as they're throwing chunks of concrete down on cops from overpasses. Arrest all. They should be pulling in with a giant bus, loading up the entire blocks of people. The water cannons. I said this before during 2020. Why are they not using water cannons? When I was young, I'd go downtown for an OU weekend. At 3 a.m. when they told you to clear the streets, the trucks would come down blasting those water cannons, and if you got hit, those things would blow you fucking 20 feet down the fucking street. You'd get in there and hide behind the entrances off of Main Street, downtown Dallas. But get out there and just blast these people out of the way. I just don't understand why they're that's the most pepper spray doesn't work. I came out and watched them fire like from Dawn of the Dead, or World War Z, whatever, but they're using foam bullets, and then, people are, oh, look, I got it here, No, we don't need less lethal. We need more lethal. So, and a full moratorium on shutting down immigration in the United States. No immigration coming in whatsoever for the next 3 years, 5 years, period. That's what's got to happen next. So we'll see. But, yeah, and again, not for naught, but I've been saying this on this channel for years that this was going to happen with this buildup, and as I've said before, what I still expect is this is nothing, because the real terrorists, which are, I don't know if you've seen this, that Iran is that we've pulled all of our people out of the Middle East and personnel, civilians. And I'm pretty sure that Trump's given the nod to Israel to go and say, they're not going to cooperate there. We hear that they are now at weapons grade, purification levels. So pure, but I'm assuming he's telling them, when you go in, I'm expecting you to kill this, not just go in and hit them and do damage, but knock out their, put them back in the Stone Age, take out everything but one oil well, so they can still suck mud out of the ground and keep whatever little bit of it's not, they don't have civilization, they're barbarians, but the civilians there, well, they've been there a long time and they may not be part of it, but hey, that's what you get if you're part of a Nazi Islam murder cult that's bent on taking over the world and killing every infidel and anyone that's a non-believer. That's going to be the price you pay. So I'm all for it. I say go over there and leave it a dead zone and dare anybody to fucking raise their hand out of it. So yeah, we'll put an end to this real quick. So that being said, I hope everyone stays safe. This weekend we'll see. So as we turn to the new and patriotic Gold Center of South Louisiana, we've got our box that came in, and it's normally not a box that I get in from Mammoth Gold Nuggets, which is what this is, as you probably saw on I assume on the thumbnail. This time it was a little different I ordered 3 bags of pay dirt. They have it where you can hit a subscription button on their site whenever it's out, and it will notify you when the pay dirt. Oh, my flag is drooping there. When the pay dirt comes in. So they did that. So I ordered it up whenever I got it, and then my order went out, and it still wasn't more than what would go into a regular bag normally, I would have thought. But there was something additional in this one. And as you can see, if you saw the mail call, you already saw it. But yes, I received a Mammoth, it's got a little dirt on it there, Mammoth Gold Nuggets hat. Very cool. Check that out. There's the tusks, the Mammoth tusks. So that is just awesome. And so Kayla, thank you so much again, my friend. That is wonderful. And we got 3 bags of pay dirt. So these are all 1 gram bags. So I thought we would go through and see if we could get 4 grams out of 3 1 gram bags, because they pour very heavy. And we've seen enough. It's like I said, it's really not that grand of a challenge as it sounds, because they have put out some awesome bags. So we're going to see. But I have they have a bag that's their difficult bag, and it was not available, but they will. Anytime you get any of these, you can request them. Just put in a note in the order, and they will add metallics, magnetics to it for you, and make make it more difficult bags. So they did that on one of my Brennan bags here, and I'm guessing from the weight, it feels like it might be that one, because of course the black sand is denser and heavier. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go ahead, because I sure don't want to have to deal with black sand today. Just leaning over is like I said, is the worst part of paint. I haven't been able to do any of my labels. I got 1 label done because I have to lean over, hunch over, drawing them, and it pushes on that rib, and it's like, God damn, it's ridiculous, you guys. But so yeah, we're gonna keep a total on these, and I was gonna do them all in a row, or maybe we'll do this one and then we'll do the 2 Brennans in another video. But before, I don't have time to do them 3 weeks in a row, because we have Vendetta Week coming up, and I had said I was going to go here from next week, from Friday the was it today? Friday the 13th to the 22nd. Normally, I was thinking we always do it in the second week of the month of June, but I think before we would do it the 2nd or 3rd. So it's starting on the 13th, though, and it's going to probably run 2 weeks, the second and 3rd week of the month, and we're just going to have one long Vendetta Week. So again, so I'll leave a link in the description at the end of the video for the story that started all this from. Like I said, another YouTuber. We won't get into that now. We're going to get into Mammoth Gold Nuggets. So we're going to go ahead and set our 2 Brennan bags aside. And, watch out there, rough it up, knocking the camera over. Get us some water set up. So yeah, I'm going to have my flags all set up on Saturday around the tree. And the big flag out front, our Trump flag. I haven't been flying my Trump flag since we won. They're already they were weathered, man. They went through a hard 4 years of battle with the elements down here flying until we got back in play. We are blessed and should be very proud of what's going on in this country right now, and a president that's doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and the display from the Democrat Party of their full intentions of what they want for this country.
You're shipping these immigrants up north. We need them to pick the crops.
What immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants. Right. We done picking cotton.
Anybody around to wipe our asses, because we don't have enough people. We don't have anybody around to wipe our asses because we don't have enough people.
And the extents they'll go to undermine and destroy it as they're claiming to fight for democracy. It's again, it's something that's just, you've never seen anything like it, and hopefully the American people are, as it appears to be, taking note, because over 60% of them are in favor of what's going on from the last poll I saw, and it's only going to go up. So, all right, let's get set up and we'll go. Of course, my little helper's not going to be far behind. What you doing, Gizmo? He's been eating grass. He doesn't get sick though. He just grazes a bit. So since we're expecting to have some fine gold in this, which they do tend to have a bit of, we're going to go ahead and classify it with the strainer at least. Very dusty, but the wind has really been kicking up today. I don't necessarily want it to blow all my dust away. So it keeps my material natural, because I dry all that out and let it settle back down and then pour off the clear water and do that until we're all dry. But this is the crystallized Yukon gold from up there in British Columbia. Pretty much a family small business, and yeah, they have, since the first bag I ever did of this stuff, and I got my little salamander nugget. That's what I call it. The head always looks like either a salamander or a fetus. Odd comparison, but let's see what we got in the regular stuff. There's a little bit, but see, that's why they'll add if you want to make it more challenging for you. I've had people ask me questions, leave comments about why, when you take the black sand out, why do you put it back in to your stuff before you do it? And I've said this before, but I know there's a lot of people that don't watch this for the first time, so sometimes apologies to you guys that hear me repeat myself, and cheers and charts to you. We got a little Corona extra. Yeah, we're not holding a grudge against little Mexican beer just because we got a bunch of illegal Mexican terrorist scumbag in our country. Got to have the lime though. Going back to what I was saying before we cut off of that, I believe was that yeah, we're going to be seeing Nazi Islamic terrorism in this country in the next couple of years, would be my prediction, dire though it is. And like I said, it's nothing that I haven't been already saying when with the influx of all the millions of criminal illegals. So just yeah, be aware more so than ever, especially if you're in those libtard fucking shithole cities, man. When they say, oh, Los Angeles, it's only a 1 mile block, the city's unharmed, it doesn't matter if it's a goddamn football field. You've got fucking terrorists assaulting the federal building, and they're calling California a sovereign state. Sovereign state? No. United States is a sovereign state. You are a state of the United States. You are under our jurisdiction, you pieces of shit. Look at that pretty white. Yeah, they got some awesome material that they put out from up there. A lot of times it's loaded with that either schist or mica. Sure, I am still where I need to be there. I apologize in advance for any grunts or moans you might hear in the background over this. But yeah, normally I leave my, sorry, I went off on another tangent there, but I leave my material in natural condition when I'm doing especially when it's something I'm doing for the first time. Look at that gold showing up right there. When it's something I'm doing for the first time, to test the character of the material, be able to do a review on it. You pull all the black sand out, it's not the same stuff. But also because when I started doing this back, 4 years ago now, in our 5th season here, thank you all so much. Jammin' Jeff, who's just Jeff now, he was a much bigger part of the community at that time because he's had a lot going on the last couple of years. But he guided me a lot whenever I was doing this, and he was always one of the watchdogs for warning what companies to stay away from, and that were rip-offs and don't buy from. And but he's the one that told me to learn to do it. Don't take the black sand out. Learn to do the material with it in. And when you can master that, then there'll never be any pay dirts you can't do. And so that's what I do. And then sometimes if it's like I'm about to be doing that Iron Death from Gold Baron that I just got in, and that's solid iron, magnetite, magnetics, heavies, black sand. So that'll be going through a spoonful at a time, and then once I've done it, then I'll go through and take out as much of the magnetics as I can, which will be everything, and try to do that, and then go through it the next time, because this is like minus 600 gold or something that's in that stuff, super fine. But yeah, so that's why I put it back in, because I like it to be what the original pay dirt was. But look at, my fingers are wet, of course. There we've got our first little cluster of very nice little nuggets from Mammoth. Actually, I think we can go better than that. Yeah, there we go. Bunch of little pickers there. All right, washes pretty light. That material washes pretty easy. All right, we've got everybody there. So that will do it for our big stuff. Let's go ahead and, we already know there's no magnetics in here to deal with. But it is going to be fairly muddy, as I recall. But yeah, this has been a real good company. Every bag I've done from, this is when I got my half-ounce bag from. I still have some awesome nuggets from that one. And just recently, John R. Prospecting did like 10 bags or something, and he had a real good return on his stuff. So that's why I decided I would go back and see, because it seems like that you come off better getting the 1 gram bags for the amount they load up. You're not going to get a 2 gram bag that weighs 3 grams, but you might get a 1 gram bag that weighs 1.4, 1.6 even. So big difference. And yes, that's why it's best to order it in multiple bags, because this was $32 shipping total on 3 bags. Normally it's about $25 for 2 bags expedited shipping. So it was a little bit more for that 3rd bag added in because of the weight, since it's international. But again, for the returns on it, usually the postage that you spend, which I don't count postage in my ROIs, as y'all know that have been watching, but even if you're counting ROIs and when your postage, you still come out ahead with some awesome crystallized gold. And I mentioned this before too, when I would get crystallized gold from Gold Bay, it was back when gold was selling for $55 and $60 a gram, you know, I was paying $100 and $120 for crystallized gold from Gold Bay. Batch showing up off the top. Of course, this is their gold is natural. It has not been cleaned, so you're not going to have that bright, shiny look to it like you have on like Gold Nugget sells. Mike has got some that's natural gold, some that's cleaned gold. A lot of his pay dirt bags are cleaned gold, but you can get natural gold from him if you'd rather have that has not been cleaned yet. But if you're getting a bunch of it, it's good and it pays to know that you do lose weight, sometimes a substantial amount of weight off of your gold when you clean it, depending on how much you're cleaning at a time, and of course how dirty it is. But so that's just something else to keep in mind. That so I'm gonna go through. I got a few more little specks on there, but very good looking gold and chunky. Some beautiful character on those, even those little pieces. Alright, I'm gonna get the rest of that cleaned up when we're back. It's funny, the table here is like like Stonehenge or one of the monolithic astrological sites. At certain times of the year, the way the gap in the roof fits in for as the sun shifts across the sky. Now it actually shines down through that at a certain time of the day. It makes for a nice little spotlight on the pan here. I went over there in the sunlight, went through my tailings of the last pan. Clouds don't help, but yeah, when I got in the sun, there was some fine gold that had washed down and a lot of tiny red garnets. A bunch of tiny red garnets in this that I hadn't really seen. Over here in this light, that's what all those little tiny black specks are. But then there's also something else in there that most of that black that you're seeing there, those aren't garnets. It's some kind of, we didn't have that much magnetics in there to be pulling this much out, but it really holds, maybe some kind of hematite, but it really holds up there with that gold. I have to pick it out like piece by piece on the smaller pieces, because I'd try to wash it away and it would wash the gold. Which would be where you might want to go down to the next smaller classification on this stuff. Try to get some of that out of the way. But if you're patient and you just slow wash that water, it will carry everything out. But I can see how that chunk there just holds. And it's not, and it kind of floats there. Like when I picked it up, it's not a normal. See, it just floated away. I don't know why it didn't do that before I touched it. There's another piece just like it right there. But yeah, it doesn't crumble away. It's hard, but it doesn't float like that other one's floating all over the place. So I don't know. Cool stuff though. And there is enough, like I said, there's enough little bit of whatever that stuff in there that makes a little bit of a challenge to get it all clean. So I got some dirt clotting up in my catch.
I've mentioned this before, but part of the reason I really like these pans is because it has that right there. You see where it has that little extra 1/2 inch lip at the bottom where it goes up into the sides of the pan, and that really makes a difference when you're washing material. And you want that backsplash to kind of, instead of having a smooth run up, it kind of acts as a stop and then pushes your water back. So you get a lot better hydrodynamic flow from like the little pans I have that are smooth edged, or the Minecraft. You see where it goes straight up from the bottom right up into the taper of the pan without that lip. And it makes a big difference, and it really does. So these are my 2 original pans that I got from Klesh, he who shall not be named, but was just named. One of them was signed. You can still see some of the 21 signature on it. But like I said, these are great pans, and they're hard. They're not the flexy. I mean, they're flexible, but they're rigid, and they're just a better quality pan. So anyway, there is our gold in the sun. If I can turn the right way to get it in the sun without the shade. There we go. Yeah, very nice. All right, well, we lost our sun, but we were at the bottom of our last pan here. I was really expecting to see more fine gold in this. There wasn't too much on it. So every pay dirt bag is different. There's our last sliver of sunlight coming through. But like I said, this stuff is always good and beautiful gold. So yeah, just because you've gotten big bags or heavy bags in the past does not mean that that is a guarantee. I've done a number of chicken miner bags, and I would always point out whenever I'd have them, because there would be times whenever I'd order them and he was out of stock. And I'd asked him, when he was going to have some more in, would he let me know? And he said, well, for long time special customers, I can make you up something, So, and he'd make me up one of his normal bags and just load it up. But and that was under my regular name. I didn't ever deal with him under Bayou Gold Guy. But there was a number of times. One time he when he wasn't even selling them, had stopped selling the 10-pound bags. And I still had one on hold in my cart with him from where he'd been out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll make you up a 10-pound bag." Just Dick Hammond's a great guy, I'll tell you. So I've been watching. His stuff has come back up in stock, so I need to get in a couple of bags because it goes out quick. It's some fun stuff to do. Alaskan dirt, a very realistic natural panning experience with his stuff for sure. What I used to always really like about it was loaded with hematite, and not necessarily a lot of magnetite, but a lot of hematite. And I would use that in my bags when I'd make up pay dirts when people wanted it really difficult, because there's no you can't pull that out with a magnet. You have to deal with it. Again, you can see that black stuff just hangs like a bitch. Where are we? Trying to stay in the sun there. We're not in the sun. Come on. Well, shit, I don't know what I've just been missing. There's our last pan. I I just realized the camera was not running here for our the last batch. I'm hoping that I haven't been doing the alternate pause when you think it's running bullshit, but beautiful gold in the sun, our mammoth gold. Like I said, you can see right there where those little black pieces just intertwine with the gold, man. It's hard to get that shit separated out of there, whatever it is. So let me get the rest cleaned up and double check it, and we'll snuffer dump it. Well, yeehaw. There is our mammoth gold. It's looking pretty good in the pan. So let's go ahead. Y'all see that? It's 50th anniversary of Jaws this year. The movie that one of the first, probably the first movie was Psycho, that made people scared to get in take a shower for generations. Even my mom was that's how I learned about it, because she was always creeped out from ever since seeing that shower scene from Anthony Perkins in Psycho. But Jaws scared millions of people out of the ocean, and I remember going to see it. It was right after my birthday. It had come out, and so of course he's got to have a gold nugget in his mouth, and he made it up into the Gulf of America. So I'm still gonna have to add a back label on it for the little more detail about it. But I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we'll do a raffle for the Jaws. I was going to plan on doing a couple of special bottles for that for this for the anniversary. But like I said, it took me. It was tough to get that in. It's hard to concentrate and be creative and slump over and draw. Whenever you can't breathe when it, everything just, I'm not happy. But all right, let's see what we got on our awesome mammoth gold. There were already 6/10 right there. There's a gram, and we still have that much to go. So again, just holy cow. I was thinking maybe we were going to be at 130, 135, 156, 5, 156, 9. Like I said, I zeroed it out at 20. It was holding at 20 grams right on the spot, the sweet spot there. Let's see where it's going to hold. Very nice. 1.5. We're going to go with 1.568 will be our official weight. 1.568 grams in a 1 gram bag of gold from from Mammoth Gold. I tell you guys, they are something else. And I'd sent her a thank you whenever I opened my package and saw what I'd gotten there, and sent her a little message and talked about her, how much I appreciated the company and that I've been a supporter since the beginning. And she sent back a really nice message response saying, thanking me, and that to get messages like that's part of the reason why they do this, and that it really meant a lot to her. The appreciation. Everybody needs some appreciation sometime, and you just think when they're this good of a company, people have they got to be praised, but it's like I said, for what they offer and what they come up with in regularly, it's just just goes beyond your normal gold companies. And I'm gonna be ordering another batch, because I'm still waiting for some more to come in. But when you can get that kind of a return on it, with the way gold is priced these days, it's back up in the 33s at this time. But holy cow, you're a fool not to buy it, and more people are learning about it. So awesome! That is again, that's what it's all about right there. A nice a nice pile of gold, and we're going to save our ROIs and stuff for our total on 3 bags. But I would say if that, we're already well on our way to our 4 grams out of 3 bags. But there is my very first nugget I was talking about that came in my bag from, and it's kind of got that again, that's a salamander head with the ones that have the triangular head shape. But it also kind of always reminded me of like a little fetus that you'd see in an egg, chicken, or maybe a snake, or I don't know. But you're right, when you look at it at a certain angle, it like that looks like almost like a kind of elongated chicken embryo right out of the egg forming. So I don't know, but yeah, that's the one. I have pieces that I hold on to that I just really love, that are my favorites, and that goes along with the rest of our beautiful. You can see those are the ones I cleaned. They look a little different than, well, it's all different gold, but that crystallized gold has different. All has a different look to it. That's a nice piece there that has the quartz in the center of it. It goes all the way through. Yeah, y'all seen this before, but there's my big one there. That nice and elongated. These all came in the half-ounce bag. Just look at that chunker. So. Yes, we will go ahead and back out and add this to our. Yeah, there's that. Get that out of the way. That's just a very cool nugget because it's got the. When I cleaned it, the quartz whitened up on it, and last time I used salt in the vinegar combination that. James Culver Prospecting told me about. So we'll go ahead and add our gold to the holder here. Unfortunately, unlike John R. Prospecting, I have to keep getting into mine, so this should be running over with gold from Mammoth. But it's got to go into things like paydirt bottles. So it looks different with the light off. But yeah, I'm going to decide something to do with it, and I'd probably try to do up another couple of them. I was also going to do my Gulf of America series here in June, and but this is beach sand. I haven't made. I was going to go down to the Gulf and get some Gulf sand for these. I still may get a chance to do it, but this is beach sand from Lake Superior, from my good friend Mr. Ron Andrews. We're going to be going and get through the rest of the bags I have from him, the bag that I have from him that he sent me. So, but yeah, Jaws was a monumental movie in the history of Hollywood for sure, and I thought it'd be fun to do a little something for it for 50 years. I can't believe that it's been 50 years since. I still remember being in the theater. The first real jump scare that I remember at a theater, I guess, probably was in that, when the guy's head popped out of the boat underwater in front of Hoop or whatever. But yeah. So all right, and I don't know if talking about calling it, since between the time I dried the gold and got in here to do this, Israel's launched the attack on Tehran. It's burning right now. They're going after their nuclear facilities. They're going after their military sites, and Netanyahu said that this is just the beginning of several days. So Trump just called emergency cabinet meetings. Remember, all that you're seeing, everything that's going on is Democrats. Democrats support the people. Democrat sponsors, donors, and their masses of sheep that that whether they're vote for them or not, they support the unrest, chaos, and crime that the Democrats enable them to do. So, all right, well, awesome from Mammoth Gold once again. And, before I can get back to this, it was already underway. So, like I said, hopefully they will just eradicate all of these, barbarians once and for all. And they're saying, oh, well, now Iran threatened if the U.S. got involved, they'll retaliate against the United States. Yeah, what are you going to do? We've got one ship parked off the coast right now. We could bring another one up from the other side of Saudi, whatever it is, the Persian Gulf. And two of our not even biggest battle carriers could eradicate that entire part of the world. And what is fucking Russia gonna do? They are their disposable proxies, just like the Hamas terrorist Palestinians are to Iran. So hopefully Israel's also simultaneously destroying more in Palestine and Gaza as well while this is going on. But yeah, dare Syria or Jordan or those pathetic Egyptian scumbags or the Saudis. They're all Nazi Islam scum. Destroy the infidels, period. And dare them to raise a hand against anything we're doing over there to wipe out this nuclear threat to the world, which is, again, the barbaric Iranians that we've let this go on and on and on. And the talks were about to start this weekend, and they knew whatever they say, they're going to be lying. They do nothing but lie. That's all they know how to do. They're a bunch of, again, barbarians. So no, it's over. We're not going to worry about inspections or your enrichment. We're going to blow you back into the Stone Age, and dare you to find somebody to do something about it. So, cheers to our American military hardware that they paid a pretty penny for. That hopefully they slapped a big American flag on the one that took out one of those bunkers, because we're sick of these sumbitches. We've got them here now in our country, and like I said, this is going to be, you're going to see them rising up in a 9/11 style attack before this is over. I would expect in the next 2 years. So just mark it down. But yeah, everybody, they're talking about World War III. Nobody's going to go to World War III over a bunch of fucking backwards, goddamn, Nazi Islam, terrorist murdering scum. And that's all these people have ever been throughout their existence. So, good riddance to all of them. Innocents get caught. You shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't be terrorists. You shouldn't be supporting terrorists. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So, thank you all so much. Celebrate Flag Day. Celebrate the 250th birthday of our great U.S. Armyman, and a service that has defended this country for since its inception and before. So we thank you guys, and I thank all of you. If you've made it this long in the video, please hit that subscribe. Very much appreciated, as well as a thumbs up is always very, very much appreciated. That's why it gets the algorithm out and gets people to like it. So, till the next time, the couple of beers and the little blue pills actually helped a bit. But again, I probably would have turned my microphone on. But hopefully next week I'll be feeling a bit more spry and enthusiastic about it. You guys mind? And all right, yes, we forgot. He's sitting there. Oh wait, jeez, even this little guy. But he's my big boy, the Wonder Dog, All-American Dog here. So thank you all so much for watching. This is Bayou Gold Guy with my new mammoth hat on. Kayla, thank you again so much. Saying take care of each other, have a great weekend, and peace out, my friends. And stay the course, and stay
Yet in defending ourselves,
Goddamn.
we also defend others.
Stay the course and stay
They too have suffered from Iran's
not observant.
chaos and carnage.
Stay.
Violence against Iran's proxy Hezbollah.
God, see, that's the brain damage.
Of a new
What are we trying to say?
In the collapse of Assad's murderous regime in Syria. The peoples of those two countries now have a chance for different futures.